to be completed in 2026. Until then, riders can expect some stops to have temporary stations. Many people across the U.S. have been receiving text messages claiming that they have unpaid toll charges. These texts are specific to a person's state of residence, making them more believable to those who are unaware of the scam. Some will invite phone users to follow a separate link or reply with the letter Y to pay the overdue balance. The FBI has investigated and affirms these messages are fake, recommending recipients should report these messages and check their official toll accounts to see if there are any legitimate charges. UTMD Anderson and Texas Children's Hospital announced a joint venture to end childhood cancer. The initiative aims to get children into more clinical trials that enhance the availability of innovative treatments. With more than 200 pediatric oncologists and over 100 clinicians and researchers, care will be provided to children diagnosed with all types of cancers. Care is set to begin in early 2026.
If you find yourself at the Wonder Spaces immersive art exhibit between now and May, you might just find a range of pastel and acrylic paintings for sale. TSTV News producer Joseph Sweeney tells us what makes these paintings so special.
As you near the exit of the Austin Wonder Spaces exhibit, you might see a wall of paintings for sale.
The physical arts like painting, those fields it's difficult to make a steady income. But with this, you can make a steady income and you can improve.
But these paintings aren't made by just any local artists. These paintings were made by none other than the artists from the Austin nonprofit, Art from the Streets.
Every purchase of the art that people want to buy helps them survive. A little bit of cash for even just buying food.
Art from the Streets is a program providing studio space and art supplies for Austin's unhoused community and other at-risk individuals.
As a homeless person, you pretty much expect glue sticks, safety scissors, and some cardboard and stuff like that. More of an arts and crafts kind of setup. And Art from the Streets was more of a real working studio and gallery looking for fine art.
And from now through May 20th, you can find their works for sale at Wonder Spaces.
Had so many shows that they've gotten us with advertising with and have been able to have us included with, including this one here. So it's a really, really fortunate opportunity to be part of that.
When you're living on the streets, you're constantly bombarded by criticism and a lot of judgment out there on the road. And Art from the Streets provides a safe place for anybody struggling with homelessness who's artistic, a creative.
Artists part of the Art from the Streets program receive 95% of proceeds made from each original work. Attendees can receive a 15% discount at the Wonder Spaces exhibit using the checkout code AFTS15. Campus Events and Entertainment's Culture Shock Committee is hosting The Cookout this Friday at Gregg Plaza from 6 to 9 p.m. The event commemorates Black UT's 1997 picnic gathering and will be the final event in Culture Shock's Black History Month lineup. Students can use their ID for admission into the celebration that will be full of music, games, and free food. UT's Department of English hosted Lit on the Lawn last week, an event in which students gather to share 3 minutes of their original work. The event is an open mic and open to any mode of writing, including original fiction, nonfiction, and poetry. TSTV News' Emmy Adams attended the reading and spoke with professors and students on the event's impact.
This reading, I don't know, I think the undergraduates, it was clear that they wanted something like this.
But I just think it's really nice to have the community building aspects, and of course the hot chocolate and cookies are nice too. But I just really love hearing other people's writing, so I came to kind of connect.
It's a fun time, just want the students to get comfortable reading their work aloud, but also get to know each other. That's really what this whole event is for.
Due to last week's freezing temperatures, Lit on the Lawn was held inside Calhoun, but future open mic readings will resume outside in the future. Lit on the Lawn allows students to connect with others who share their passion for literature and allows them a low-stakes way to release their creative outlets. When we come back, we'll bring you the weather entering the first week of March and a look into Texas men's basketball's rocky season. Primetime will be right back. Welcome back to Primetime.
Spring is coming around the corner. Audrey Wong is here with all you need to know in this week's weather. How are you doing today, Audrey?
I'm good. Better now that the sun's out. Well, if you've been fed up with the cold weather like me, look forward to warmer temperatures and sunnier skies both tomorrow and throughout the week. Commuters and early risers should be aware of a dense fog before 8 a.m. tomorrow and a chilly morning in the mid-50s. But the rest of Tuesday should be sunny with a high of 75 and a light breeze. If you don't find time to lay out on the south lawn or get outside to enjoy the sun, don't fret. The warm weather is here to stick around throughout the rest of the week. Looking ahead at our 7-day forecast, Wednesday's high temperature will be around 77 degrees with a low of 55 at night. The skies will mostly be sunny with a little cloud cover, and it'll remain partly cloudy through Thursday as the high temperature drops to 72 degrees and the low will stoop down to 42. Rounding out the week, a high of 74 is expected on Friday when the clouds will disappear temporarily. Saturday will still be sunny with high temps reaching a weekly peak of 79, but temperatures will drop to 54 degrees Saturday night as new cloud cover rolls in, bringing with it a partly cloudy Sunday with a 34% chance of rain. The possibility of showers won't affect these temperatures too much, as a high of 75 with a low of 61 are expected. And next Monday's temperatures are almost identical to Sunday's, but we'll see the chance of showers drop to 24% to usher in the first week of March. That's all for your weekly weather forecast. We're about a month until the official start of spring, so get outside and enjoy the sun this week, and we'll see you back here next Monday for the latest updates on Austin weather.
Thanks, Audrey, for keeping us up to date on Austin weather. When we come back, Texas softball took their first loss of the season on Friday. And Tate McRae's latest album debuted on Friday, with a tour coming to Austin soon. Primetime will be right back. Welcome back to Primetime.
Texas men's and women's basketball are not having very similar seasons this year. Campbell Cho has the latest 4 press box on Primetime. How are you doing today, Campbell?
You know, it's a Monday, but we're like, what, 3 weeks from spring break, so we're slowly getting there. We're almost there.
We're getting there. Texas men's basketball halted the start of a possible win streak this Saturday, with South Carolina winning their first conference game of the season. What happened in Columbia this weekend?
To say Texas men's basketball has had a stop-and-go season this season is an understatement. The Longhorns are now 5-9 in conference play with notable wins against number 13 Texas A&M and an upset against number 17 Kentucky before the bye. But for every win, there's been an even uglier loss. Texas lost by 23 to number 2 Alabama, lost to an unranked Vanderbilt and an unranked Arkansas. But these losses weren't nearly as ugly as losing to the worst team in the conference. Auburn leads the nation with Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, and A&M ranked in the top 10. 9 out of 16 teams in the SEC are ranked in the top 25. so it's not no doubt that the conference is a gauntlet, but Texas has been unable to show up this season basically the whole time. Longhorns went into halftime down 18 points and actually outscored the Gamecocks by 4 in the second half, but it wasn't enough to win it. Trey Johnson, however, continues to lead the Longhorns in points and field goals made. Johnson went 11 and 21 to tie his career high, putting up a game high of 29 points against South Carolina. Johnson is predicted to enter the NBA draft after this season. Texas loses 84-69 to South Carolina, traveling to Fayetteville this Wednesday for a rematch against Arkansas, with only 3 conference games after that. For the first time in 20 years, the newly ranked #1 Texas women's basketball exited their bye tonight against Georgia in Athens. Longhorns beat the Bulldogs 57-26, with Taylor Johnson putting up 17 points. Texas will return to Vic Schaefer's old stomping grounds this Thursday to play Mississippi State with their second-to-last conference game.
Texas softball and baseball return to the Diamond this weekend for more preseason tournaments. How did the Longhorns do this weekend?
Texas softball sits at #1 in the nation, but recorded their first loss of the season on Friday. Texas lost 5-9 to #20 Stanford, shutting down Texas pitcher Cambria Solomon early and putting up 5 runs in the 6th. Texas was unable to answer back. This loss will be a question of, will Texas continue to lose, or will this be more of a sole loss in that column by the end of their season? After that, Texas run-ruled Colorado State twice, run-ruled UC Davis 12-0, and beat #11 Arizona in an extra inning 8-4. Texas hosts the Longhorn Invitational starting this Friday, currently sitting at 15-1. Texas baseball hosted Dartmouth this weekend and finished up their triple-header yesterday with a sweep. In Game 1, the Longhorns win 4-3, with 3 of their 6 hits coming from Kimball Schuessler. On Saturday, Texas won 3-2 with a game-winning double in the 7th from Max Ballou. In Texas' final game against Dartmouth, Longhorns win 4-1 with Ethan Mendoza recording his first home run as a Longhorn. Longhorns host University of Incarnate Word tomorrow at 6:30.
And more breaking news in the NBA. What's going on now?
Yeah, if you're a Spurs fan and you thought you might be immune to some losses after you skate out of the trade deadline, you'd be wrong. The Spurs announced Thursday that Victor Wembanyama will miss the remainder of the season due to deep vein thrombosis in his right shoulder. The blood clot was discovered after the All-Star game, where he put up 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 block. Hall of Famer head coach Greg Popovich is also not expected to return this season, as he's still recovering from a stroke he had in November.
Thanks, Campbell, for keeping us up to date on all things sports. When we come back, Amazon is taking over a popular movie franchise. What we know next. And the 31st Annual Screen Actors Guild Awards took place last night. Winners and highlights coming up. Primetime will be right back. Welcome back to Primetime.
The SAG Awards aired last night on Netflix. Kai Fong is here to talk about what you need to know in music, movies, and more. How are you doing today, Kai?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me. The 31st Annual Screen Actors Guild Awards took place last night, hosted by Kristen Bell. Conclave took the top award of Best Cast in a Motion Picture. Timothée Chalamet won Best Male Actor in a Leading Role for A Complete Unknown, and Demi Moore won Best Female Actor in a Leading Role for her work on The Substance. Jane Fonda won the Life Achievement Award for acting for over 60 years of acting and activism. In her speech, she claims, quote, "Empathy is not weak or woke," end quote. The SAG Awards near the end of the award season, as next weekend's Oscars is the final show of the season.
Were there any winners or movies you were expected or excited about?
I was really hoping to see more of Gladiator 2 because I really love that movie. Tate McRae, the Canadian singer, songwriter, and rising pop star, has been making waves in the music industry, announcing her 2025 tour titled Miss Possessive. McRae will showcase her new album entitled So Close to What, and she begins her travel in Mexico City on March 28th, and eventually will make her way to perform 2 shows here in Austin at the Moody Center. McRae will also be joined by special guest Zara Larsson during the U.S. and Canada tour of the tour, and during the benefit during the Europe and UK tour. For more information, visit TateMcRae.com.
Are you a fan of Tate McRae? Are there any songs you like?
I really like the song Mispossessive that was
Okay,
on
yeah.
her new album.
Yeah.
I just can't stop listening to it. Longtime co-owners of the James Bond series, Michael G. Wilson and Barbara Broccoli, handed over the spy fiction franchise to Amazon last week. Wilson and Broccoli will remain co-owners, yet Amazon now has full creative control over the series. This decision comes amidst reports of creative differences between the owners and Amazon over the future of the 007 franchise. Wilson and Broccoli say they are stepping back to focus on other projects, but are looking forward to what Amazon has planned.
How do you think this move will impact the franchise?
I think overall it'll be a really positive move because I'm a big Tom Clancy fan, and Amazon has done a really good job with their Jack Ryan series. So.
Well, that's your Monday briefing. I'm Abby Saenz.
And I'm Audrey Itz. From all of us at TSTV News, thank you for watching.
Now go out and change your world.